Welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. It's a pretty exciting day here at the mill, and before you guys ask about this, I will address that in the middle of the video. So let me show you guys right now what we're working on. So I came out here yesterday and I worked on this all day, and I think I have it set up pretty close to the way I want it. What we're looking at here is something that you guys have been telling me to do for a long time. And not that I'm stubborn, I just haven't got around to doing it. I've had all the stuff here to do it except for this hose, but we finally have it hooked up. Let me show you the details. So bear in mind, this setup is temporary. And what I mean by that, I need to run an outlet to the dust collector. I need a longer hose from the dust collector going outside, and I may put a trolley system on the main hose coming from the sawmill to the dust collector, because it's rubbing on the concrete, and I'm not sure if that's good for it or not. It's probably not. But I got it set up good enough today so we can test it out. I've not even ran this for the first time, and hopefully it works. So right here is the blower. This is a 2 horsepower Harbor Freight dust collector. If it's not enough as far as the CFMs goes to pull the dust out of the LT70, we can get a larger one, but I think it will work okay. This thing's pretty powerful. Right there is our hose. That's a 4-inch hose, and that's a 5-inch outlet on the machine. So I got a reducer right there and some fancy connectors, duct tape pretty much right there to seal that up. And right now the hose is just laying on the ground and shooting out the end of the building. Like I was saying, if this works the way I hope it does, I'll plumb this differently, but I am going to shoot all the sawdust over there. And I may change this to a hard pipe as well. We'll have to see what happens. And look over this, but right now I'm using an extra outlet that's in the ceiling to plug this thing up. A little bit of sawdust on there, not too much though. But if this setup works the way I hope it does, I'm going to run a separate circuit to the blower with a switch down there by the operator's side. So when I want to cut on the dust collector, I just reach over, turn the switch on. I think it's going to be a lot more convenient than walking down here and using the switch on the blower. All right, so now we have the blower, and that right there is a 6-inch hose. It's in a reducer that goes down to 4 inches into the dust collector. This is the one hose that I had to buy and the fittings. It's a 6-inch hose. As you can see, it's clear, and we may have to tie this up to a trolley to keep it from dragging on the concrete right here. I think I may have to do that. I think that might be a good idea instead of leaving it on the concrete all the time. What do you guys think? And right here is where the hose enters the machine. Now there was a dust chute right here that we took off. This part does move here on the mill. So the 6-inch hose comes up. Got some clamps right there. And I also have a very unique little clamp right here. I got a friend of mine down in Georgia. He also runs a Sawmill channel. I'll leave a link down below. He fabricated this for me probably 2 years ago, and I'm just now getting around to putting this on. But he runs a LT50, and I'm pretty sure this right here acts as an extra support. It does have a swivel, so all the weight of this hose is not being supported just by these clamps. It's actually being supported by this bracket. And I had to take out one of the bolts on the Wood-Mizer chute right there to clamp it on. And he had a place for 2 of them, but mine did not line up for both. So the original factory one I left in place, and one being inserted right there, and that's more than enough to hold this on. Nothing's going anywhere. You do want a little bit of play in this because it does need to flex with the hose. This is a very good design. For you guys out there that are wanting to put dust collectors on your Wood-Mizer, you may get lucky. He may start selling these if there's enough interest there, or he may not fool with it. Who knows? If he does start selling these in the future, I'll let you guys know about it. So we got a fresh blade on the mill, a Joe Maine Silvertip Turbo 7. If you want those blades, call Joe. Cell phone number is down in the video description. I got a 3-inch cant, that's white pine. It's about 10 foot long. We'll be sawing those into 1x3s, and this will be the first time we test out this system. And hopefully it works. I think it'll work pretty good. For those of you that are interested, this dust collector is Central Machinery, but you can get these at Harbor Freight. I bought this one on sale about a year ago and put back for this purpose right here. I think it's gonna work pretty good. It's a 2 horsepower And the CFM, I think, if I remember right, I think it's about 1,400. No, I'm sorry, right there it says. I need to read better. 1,550. So I'm thinking, and I'm probably wrong about this, with this dust collector, I should be able to get maybe 70 to 80% of the sawdust out of this building over there in a pile. Maybe it'll be more than that, I don't know. It's not going to get the big chunks of bark and stuff like that. That stuff will fall on the floor as the log is turned and sawed. But it should get most of the dust. And if you're wondering why I finally got around to doing this, there's two reasons. Number one is time. I got less time, it seems like nowadays, to get things done, and scooping up sawdust at the end of the day is taken away from other things. That's the most important reason. And the second reason is I've had all this equipment here for about a year, so I might as well get it done and see how it goes. I don't know what I've been waiting on. I think cleaning up the sawmill 2 weeks ago for Wood-Mizer got me inspired to do this, to be honest with you. I saw how clean the floor was, and I thought to myself, man, that'd be nice to come up here every day and have a nice clean surface to work off of. That's probably the main reasons. Yep, I think that's why. Let's see how it works, guys. I think we're going to be in good shape. right, friends, let's check out the results on the blower with our first test cuts. Now there's a pile of sawdust right there, and that's what I swept out of the way so we could have a nice clean surface to make this judgment on of whether or not this is working good. I cut about 8 1x3s out of pine, and then I put a cherry log up here and took 4 heavy slab cuts off of it. And after doing that, this is the amount of dust that's left on the floor. And guys, that's not too bad at all. That's easily more than probably 80% of the dust coming off the sawmill as it's cutting. Now there is some bark right down there, and that comes off the log as it turns and also as you saw it. And a lot of it just falls down between the bunks. That's expected. And there's also some dust up here on the rail, because all the dust on the sawmill does not go out the dust chute. A lot of it does fly out in the air as the saw is cutting, and a lot of it falls on the rail right there. That's still not too bad. I'm getting most of the dust to the blower, and we're shooting it out the side of the building over there. I'm pretty happy. I think this is gonna work pretty good. Now it's time to think about a long-term install and getting this hose off the floor and a dedicated circuit and a switch for the blower. All right, guys, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And you guys can say I told you so if you want to down in the comments. I should have done this a long time ago. This is going to be nice. It's going to free up a lot more time in the afternoon to get more stuff done instead of up here shoveling sawdust out of the way. So you guys are right. So anyways, I'm probably done for the day because I'm actually still on light duty. And I guess I'll tell you guys about this bandage. I had skin cancer surgery last week, and they had to go on my forehead and take off, they took off some, then they had to go back and take more off to get every bit of it, and then they had to sew me up, and it's just been really aggravating, to be honest with you, because it hurts, got a headache from it, had some swelling up here, and now it's moved down to my eyes, so it looks like I've got a black eye now. But the worst part of it is being on light duty for about 5 days. I'm not supposed to be lifting more than 5 pounds, so hopefully my surgeon is not watching this video. So I think I'll take it easy now for the next day or two and let this heal up. But I wanted to get up here and test this out and see how it runs. So sorry for the short video, but doctor's orders, I guess. So we'll be back up here in a few days and we'll finish up this cherry log. And I've also got to get the 754 out and do some lane chart cutting down by the fence where the timber frame is. So I guess that's all I got to say about that. Oh yeah, a little tip here for you guys that work outside like I do. Go see your dermatologist at least once a year. And if you never went to a dermatologist, go see them. I'm 44 years old and I've got skin cancer, so it don't really matter how old you are, you can get this stuff. So make sure you go get checked out and don't let it go, because I had this sore in my head for probably a good year before my wife made me go get it looked at. And sure enough, it was what I thought it probably was, skin cancer. So if you got something odd on you, you don't know what it is, go get checked out and let them cut it off of you. It hurts, but I'm sure it's well worth it in the long run. Luckily, this wasn't melanoma. This was basal cell cancer. I don't think it'll kill you, but it will aggravate you. So hopefully it's cleared up, and the only thing I'm gonna be left with is some knowledge and a big scar. So it is what it is. So thanks for watching, friends. I really appreciate it. And a few things will be done here. Paul Bunyan's show's coming up here in a few weeks. I'll be there Friday and Saturday with Wood-Mizer. Thanks to everybody on Patreon for supporting me here in the channel. And also the t-shirts with the beard logo were back in stock. They got a pocket right here on the left side of the chest. There's a link down below for those. If you go buy one, I get a small commission from it, and it helps me buy cameras for the sawmill and diesel fuel to keep the LT70 running. So thanks for watching, friends. I really appreciate it. I'll see you back here in a few days.